Hello everyone, thank you so much for being part of Joy Asonye Live this beautiful Friday. It's Friday, and for some of you who already follow the program, every Friday we have the Buy NAIJA hour, and today is not an exception. Today we'll be discussing Buy Made in Nigeria initiative as a platform for achieving rapid economic development in Nigeria. Achieving rapid economic development is the desire of developing countries. This is in order to improve the standard of living of its citizens. It involves a consistent and sustained increase in the country's gross domestic product and other macroeconomic indicators. Rapid economic development can be initiated through various means, such as increased agricultural productivity, investment in infrastructural and promotion of trade and investment, which would bring about a sound economic policies. That's what we'll be discussing on today's edition. And as usual, we have Apostle William Iheanacho Otabil, Chairman Buy NAIJA project, with us in the studio. Thanks for being part of the program.
Yeah, good evening, viewers and Joy. It's a great pleasure, and thanks for having me to express my privilege of representing the interest of the micro, small and medium enterprise people in Nigeria, the backbone of the economy.
Exactly. Well, at this point, we'll go for a short break and return to discuss more. Stay with us. This is still Joy Asonye Live. Welcome back from that short break. Apostle William Iheanacho, first of all, why is it so important, for this government that is setting up to look into the rapid economic development of Nigeria?
Well, the business of government one of the major business of government is the economic development of a country like Nigeria, because we're a country in a hurry, and we're in a continent that is in a hurry to develop. We have a youthful populace that is very anxious to grow. And we have a lot of people who want to japa. They want to run away. And the reason for the japa is the economic climate. So this particular government, or any government for that matter, has to hit the ground running to make sure that there is rapid economic development in Nigeria. And one of the ways to make this happen is to take a closer look at the issue of Made in Nigeria. The Made in Nigeria campaign that Buy NAIJA is championing with other stakeholders is in recognition of the fact that internal capacity of production and patronage of that which is produced is a major backbone of economic development. We need to produce what we consume. We need to consume what we produce. No country, no nation can prosper if it does not produce what it consumes and consume what it produces. Like so many countries, where we won't be the first people to begin to develop and execute a policy in that regard. In Brazil, the local patronage is heavy. You can't do government business in Brazil with a foreign vehicle. In America, you cannot do government business of the United States of America with foreign vehicles. There is a vibrant Buy America campaign and practice. Like I tell people all the time, when Ban Ki-moon was made the Secretary General of United Nations, care and Hyundai, they produced a limousine in South Korea and sent it to him in New York. But the sad part, I want to say it outright, I don't criticize government. I'm a stakeholder, but we need to stop this issue of using foreign materials in a Made in Nigeria meeting. They will bring a foreign sweet. It was so embarrassing.
That's candies?
Yes.
Candies they're sharing.
They share, yes. I was in a meeting. And I'm very happy that the vice president then raised the issue. That why would they serve us Chinese sweets inside the villa? We had a Made in Nigeria Galleria at Transcorp when NESG had a summit along with the Federal Ministry of National Planning with National Planning and the Ministry of Finance. And the president arrived, embarrassingly so, with a Mercedes-Benz. The vice president arrived with a BMW or BMW.
At that time, had Nigerians started?
2016.
Nigerians had started producing.
Of course, we had innocent. And as recently as last year and 2 years ago, the legislature bought foreign brands in billions. When Nigerian automakers were exporting vehicles, even among vehicles to Belarus, vehicles to Sierra Leone from Nigeria, and our own people were buying made in Japan, made in all manner of places. It's scandalous. So I'm saying it that we should completely divorce ourselves from that mentality. Because number one, if you don't buy what is yours, why would anybody buy your own from you? And how will you develop economically? Because if you buy vehicles worth 30 billion from outside, you have exported 30 billion. You have exported jobs outside. And we are saying that there are no jobs. Poverty is multiplying. The youthful population is multiplying. And you don't buy from them. You can't buy sweet. You don't buy shoes. You don't buy cars from them. Your furniture is from abroad. So the only way to drive economic development rapidly is local patronage. Then you now be talking about
exporting.
So NAIJA is committed to local and international patronage of Made in Nigeria products and services that are top quality. We have the best cable in the world. Confirmed. Why are we not pushing that? We have good furniture makers in the country. We push that. I've been wearing Made in Nigeria shoes for over 10, 11, 12 years. The one I'm wearing right here in the studio is made in Aba. I have some slippers that are made in Kano. Beautiful.
What do you think is the biggest threat to this Made in Nigeria advocacy?
The mentality of the elite. I say it over and over again. Because the elite set the pace. They are the pace setters. What the man in the village sees the elite doing. So when he gets some money, he buys what the elite is buying. Why would you be wearing shoes that are made in Italy? But the leather is, the tannery in Kano produce the leather. Like I always tell people, 2019 statistics, approximately $250 million of leather was exported from Kano as a nexus for tanned leather. Then we imported over $500 million worth of finished products from the same people who bought the leather from us. all the big brands you hear from Italy or Spain, they buy their leather from us. Then the people in Kano don't even sell to people. There's no connectivity with the Aba people who produce, like I've said on this program, more than 1 million shoes every week. And they export to West Africa, Central Africa, South African countries. Then in the Southwest, I always tell people jokingly, the bulk of the leather we produce there is eaten as momo. So there has to be an integrated thing. But those things are problems we can easily solve. But the final consumers of these luxury products imported are the elites who do
Some
not
of them
patronize.
aren't even luxury products. I mean, some days ago we read a report that Custom is planning to place a ban on second-hand clothing, the popular Okrika clothing. And I saw the backlash. Those are not luxury products, but Nigerians would rather wear the second-hand clothing.
Because it's a mentality. It's a mentality. Why can't we produce our own product? You know, the problem is this cotton, textile and garment policy, which came in 2014, along with the Industrial Revolution Plan. Beautiful policies. But they were just kept in the background by the same elites. When I'm talking about the cotton, textile and garment policy, beautiful policy, but never implemented by the same elite. Nothing stops us from producing our own local garments and textiles and finished products.
That will be as cheap as this second-hand
Of
for
course!
income earners.
Of course! It's a mentality. I've been there. I have sold Okrika.
At that time, were you buying NAIJA compliant or advocate?
I was not buying NAIJA compliant. I was as I don't want to say useless. I was as do you know, it was just a business.
Okay, you hadn't seen the light.
By the day I saw the light, I stopped wearing Okrika, whether in a first grade. Let me tell you about Okrika. I was doing Okrika. Okrika, when you cut bail, you have the first grade. Then you have the first touch. When you bring the first grade, somebody has paid for it. Then the first touch man takes the first touch. Then you have super touch.
I don't know. I'm struggling. I don't know. I mean,
I'm telling you the business.
I've heard about first grade, but when you say first touch,
somebody now comes to select the best of the first grade.
Right.
Then another person comes, that's his own line.
Second touch.
And then he does the super touch.
Oh,
those are the ones they sell to bankers. They dry clean it and sell to bankers. When you see them wearing it, most of them are the ones that have problem in factories.
Right.
Rejects in factories.
Yes.
And
it might not be a very obvious one. Maybe
very
inconsequential.
Yes, in a button mismatch.
Yes.
You get it now. So those are the things. So I've been through the road. I did it as a business. Until my mother came one day and saw me rejoicing over wearing super touch. After I came back from my market, because I had boys who sell the bales. I was a big boy. I was on top of the food chain. My mom wept. Said I was rejoicing over super touch. You know what? He said, when you are wrong, we didn't have money. You are wearing Okrika now. In this your age, that was 1988. He said, you are rejoicing over Okrika. Say no.
This is not the child I raised.
No, it won't work. So it didn't hit me. So I started buying brand new clothes. I discovered that they were cheap, they were good. I don't have to wear foreign brands. So I repented from that time because I saw with my mother in the market. So I've been a market boy. So by the time NAIJA started, I was very interested in the cotton, textile and garment and the shoes footwear and leather products. It's formed the backbone of my interest and the automotive industry. And those three can define the backbone of the Nigerian economy, apart from agro-allied. Because the cotton, textile, and garment industry, the cotton, if you know the value chain of cotton, textile, and garment, you have all manner of things that constitute the textile and garment. Plenty. It can keep millions of youths employed. If at the early part of my business, I was selling on Krika, when I stopped, I had a garment factory. I ran a garment factory with my wife. So we started producing, and it was very lucrative. The first equipment I bought in my life were sewing machines. So it's a big industry that if we concentrate on them, you will discover so many things. But there was a year, one man imported garments, textiles from China. I think that was 2015 or 16. What? 10 billion. So we protested.
Not very long ago.
Not very long ago, we protested. We went to the customs place. It's in history. It was in public domain. It was seized. We had the meeting at customs place at Gwagwalada. We were holding meetings up and down. It was foolery. Spent money holding meetings.
What was your greatest fear apart from
when at the end of the day, my sister, they released the goods to the smuggler, and it crashed the textile and garment industry in Kano, which also affected Lagos. So many factories closed up. The surviving factories that have survived the textile and garment, there are very few. We could close down because there is a place in China. The population there is over 20 million people. They just do goods that mimics made in Nigeria. It's really hard there.
That mimics?
They mimic.
I heard one very disturbing report that they even produce Adire now.
That's what I'm telling you, is in that location. Your Ankara, your Adire. A textile company closed up in Lagos. So many of them, because they come with the name of those reputed companies. I think I mentioned in one program here, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, very hardworking parastatal.
They are?
Very, very, very accurate. In 2016-17 or thereabout, they intercepted, they went to a warehouse in their investigation. Those people had 5.9 billion, if I'm correct, worth of cables that were made in China that brought in as made in Nigeria. They dumped it here. They cut them. The Standard Organization is doing a lot of good job. A Federal Ministry of Industry and Investment is struggling against the elites.
Because, you know, when you give these organizations credit, some of us still see the proliferation of these bad products, especially that.
But they are trying their best. 5.9 billion naira worth of cable was intercepted in a warehouse, sealed up, made in Nigeria cables, because we have developed a brand equity in Nigeria for cables, for vehicles, that you can imagine our soups are being mimicked in China.
Like the local soup?
Yes, I put it in a can.
And then when they make it very fancy,
yeah,
back here we take it.
Yes, why would you buy a made in abroad shoe when made in Nigeria shoes are rugged? somebody kept on asking me, this your shoe, is it made in Nigeria? This cloth, when you saw me talking with some young men, is made in Akwete, in my town. This is made in Aba. I've been wearing this for 3-4 years. Nothing has moved there. Somebody saw me one day at our center and said, hey, Oga, you are saying buy NAIJA. This is your shoe. Is it made in Nigeria? I said, this shoe I'm wearing is made by my daughter's classmate. They finished together in Ota. She does, what do they call it? What they call these shoes that are custom made. They came to my office, measured my leg, and brought out the shoe. Solid. Somebody said, this cannot be made in Nigeria. I said, try me. Try me. And the girl sells internationally. Her name is Asonye. I'll mention her name. She's a star. I must promote them. Not only in Nelson. There are Nigerian girls and boys. They might say, oh God, you called us girls and boys on TV. We are big girls. They produce solid products that are revered outside. Now, people are forced to write made in Italy. I was upbraiding one of my friends. He's my age mate. He was wearing one shoe. They wrote a foreign name on it. And he was looking good. He said, oh, God, no vex now. This person just put that foreign brand, but it's made in Aba. I say, that boy, if I catch that boy, is my enemy.
But you do understand.
He should put proudly made in Nigeria.
But you do understand that we have not worked on the psyche of Nigerians, first of all.
That is what we are working on this TV. Let the elites repent. They are the enemies of Nigerian industrial development. Why can't you invest here? You should invest here. Like I tell some people, you want to hold your children's wedding, you go and hold it abroad. You call it destination marriage. Then they want to hold their birthday party, they go abroad. I say even the SIN economy, SIN economy, they take it out. You should have held the party here. Let the money be spent on the waiters, the hotel, the food. At least they will buy carrots.
But it should excite you that the funerals are still held in Nigeria.
That is the disaster. Joy, you've touched a place I'm trying to avoid. Okay, the man, he has houses in France, in London, Dubai. Dubai was built with Nigerian money. I can tell you that. You can take it to the bank.
That's a huge accusation. These are
let them come. We'll prove it.
Dubai is also another oil.
No, Nigerians. A lot of money. In 2006, 2005, they were selling all those buildings you see today in Dubai as 3D, and Nigerian politicians, the 419ers, the drug pushers were buying the place.
The prototype. It wasn't
built. No. Do you know the number of floors owned by Nigerians in all your big hotels in Dubai, in Qatar? That is the issue. Do you understand? They invest there. They don't invest here. If you invest here, you invest in Kano, you won't like terrorists to come to Kano. But because your investment is not there, you live in Abuja, from Abuja you go to Dubai. It's not going to work. But
I saw a report where there's a safari, African safari in Dubai now. So plants, several trees, animals were all brought in from Africa, and now Africans are leaving Africa to go look at the safari in Dubai.
That is the madness.
What is happening to the innovations in Nigeria? How can we attract this money?
They steal the money here. They build schools. I don't want to call names. Some of those people telling you they are activists in Niger Delta. Activists is where they build schools and universities in Togo, in Dubai. They build schools abroad. Their
Right.
children go to school abroad. They eat things abroad. So what I was trying to say,
Before you started talking about how funerals are done in Nigeria.
that's right. So they have all their investments abroad. When the man dies, he dies in a British hospital of white man's disease.
Because Nigeria.
right. How many Nigerians die of cancer? It's not that a witch killer. Witch killer. He dies of white man's disease in white man's land and has spent all the money in a French or British hospital that is populated by Nigerian doctors who have jackpot in the past. Do you understand me? When he dies, they want to bury him. They buy the casket in France. His suit is an Italian suit. His shoe is a Spanish shoe.
Even the cops.
The corpse is foreign already. So by the time they bring him in, he's flown by a foreign airline. The hairs the ambulance are carrying is a German vehicle. Then takes him to a village.
In Nigerian land.
In Nigerian land. Then it is Nigerian fly, Nigerian maggot that will eat the body. Then they will drink champagne from south of France.
His friends who are just like him.
Yes, and they can even bring in the chaff. Like I said, I have friends who go to dry clean their clothes in England. They barb their hair in New York.
You have very wealthy friends.
Of course, at my age, I have wealthy friends. I have all manner of friends. I have pan-Nigerian friends. I have Oyibo mentality friends. And they will tell you once you are this your made in Nigeria nonsense. I beg, carry and come on here. I have somebody who is a wife of a big man of God. They have a big school in Warri. He told me to my face, Kro, she cannot afford to do uniform. That use made in Nigeria textiles to do uniform or even make the uniform there. That the uniforms are made in England. And their congregation, they are made in Nigeria congregation. They gave them made in Nigeria money. They use in building the school, but their school uniform is made abroad. Her clothes are imported.
When they have tailors and designers in the same
church. In their congregation.
Okay, Apostle, it's time to go for a short break.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back after this. This is still Joy Asonye Live. Stay with us. Made in Nigeria initiative as a platform for rapid economic development. That's what we're discussing on Joy Asonye Live today. And it's Friday, so as you know, it is the By NAIJA hour with Apostle William Otabil. Well, we had been talking about how we can get people to understand better the need to patronize Nigerian-made product. And you have talked about the elite. I'm surprised you didn't mention the faith-based organizations. Are we ever going to get there? I was surprised.
They are critical stakeholders because, but before I go there, let me talk about textiles. Because after food, or even before food, some people can go without food for 25 days. I think that's what is calculated, can go without food. But can you go without garment? Even in your bedroom, you will wear something. Eh?
Of course, it's necessary.
If you are not wearing boxers, you are wearing singlet. If you are not wearing boxers, you wear a
somehow there's apparel that
you must wear an apparel. You get it.
Right.
So very critical. That is a major economic module. apparel. But the bulk of the textiles we wear here are imported. All the babariga, all the cloth you see, they are all imported. They don't patronize even the local people producing. We produce a lot of garments, but who patronize you? Most of the babarigas you have are imported from either Switzerland or Senegal, some foreign country. Their shoes, all big brands, the elites. If anybody says I'm lying, let him come and bring, let's look at his wardrobe. Go to the wardrobe of people. Interrogate the wardrobe of the elites and the young girls and boys nowadays. What are they wearing? What are the pastors wearing? You say, I didn't talk about faith-based initiatives. We know pastors that promote foreign brands in shoes and bags, and they take delight in it, and it attracts members to them. Yes. Do you know that most girls now, they wear wigs that are imported? Some people's wig wardrobe, including my own daughter, she will be watching this.
If your intention is to personally attack me, it didn't work.
Wait,
Apostle,
do you know some people?
Apostle, we will continue this. We have to go on a very short break.
The imported wigs, some people's wardrobe is worth more than 5, 6, 7, 8 million.
Okay. Well, we'll continue the conversation after this short break. We'll be right back. So still stay with us. It promises to be interesting. How can you and I promote made in Nigerian products? My Apostle William is just telling us how some of us wear wigs that are imported.
They are some of your wardrobe or your council of wigs. They run into a lot of millions, and they are imported. The wigs are done in Nigeria, but they don't want them. They still import. Then foreign brands, like I said, some religious leaders, those who are not wearing foreign brands as shoes and clothes, the popular brands, even in the both divides, They wear babarigas that are imported. The textiles are imported.
Do they have better quality?
Of course. So you want me to start calling names?
No, I'm just asking.
There are factories that have survived over time in Kano, in Lagos, that produce top quality textiles. The one they have killed, that they survived, are resurrected. That is why the attack on the cotton, textile and garment value chain is heavy. They're pumping money there, you don't see anything. There was a time Kaduna had a lot of factories for cotton, textile and garment. They are all closed down. And it is the fault of the elites. I told you some goods worth over 10 billion were impounded by custom after so much gerrymandering and going around. They release the products and it crashed the market. And we know those who did it. It's the same people who export they smuggle out the products of musicians, films to the West African. So those are things, even the little made in Nigeria that we have, they still smuggle it out. No benefits to the people. No benefit. Then they bring inferior products and dump here. We are talking about issue of burials of people. Nigeria has become a central burial ground for the elites. So I'm saying that if you can have your health tourism, you can enjoy yourself with your foreign rice, enjoy yourself your foreign tourism, enjoy yourself with your foreign thing. When you die, they should bury you in foreign land.
But we were just celebrating the only thing we've got. Why would you say the Owambe should now be taken again abroad?
No, let them, no, for that one.
The Owambe can be here.
No, let it be taken abroad.
Right.
Because how much are they bringing back home? Because the campaign is from abroad.
There are caterers who will have jobs at the...
Are you sure they will bring caterers? They will hire caterers here, or they might fly in caterers from abroad. We have to prove that. We have to interrogate that. They might even fly in girls for their sin economy to come in again. But that's on the...
For the living.
Yeah, that's on a lighter note. But the important thing is that the elites have to interrogate their wardrobe, their garage. A man will pack like 18 cars that he doesn't even need, and all of them are foreign liabilities because they are diminishing assets. They are not assets that gives much value. I'll see a man driving one big four-wheel drive. You know what comes to my mind? I say this man is driving 4 bakeries. He just they carry and they go for.
But you drive a big cars.
Which big car do I drive?
Okay, let's
my project boss. My project boss of innocent. I'm not to that. Even if I ride an innocent that is worth 3 bakeries, I've created many jobs in a Navy. But a man creates job in a foreign country, buys a vehicle worth 49 million naira. That is like 4 bakeries. Only him there. And if it is bulletproof, that is like 10 bakeries. He's just driving it with a bevy of convoy. So
of people like him.
Yes, of people like him. So you see a convoy that is, I will not calculate. Oh boy, this is 8 fish farms, 10 bakeries, just going. And after a while, they dump it. And then you come to the TV and come to the podium and be speaking big grammar. And the boys don't have a job. And you are wondering what is happening. And in any case, most times the money with which you bought those vehicles are free money. It didn't come from any factory or any farm. Even if you have free money, please invest it in Nigeria.
Right.
Buy made in Nigeria. Invest in Nigeria. Produce in Nigeria. Create jobs in Nigeria. Consume that is made, which is made in Nigeria. Stop eating foreign rice. What's the difference between foreign rice? How sweet? Foreign rice is cool. Abakaliki rice is cool. The rice from Mina, from Bida, they are good rice, fresh. You don't go and buy rice that they kept in a warehouse for 25 years, 30 years, 10 years. You bring them in, and you are telling me you are eating good rice. Then you eat foreign rice. Then you die of cancer from foreign land. Some of the diseases, when they call the name, even when you go to when you Google it, you need AI to
explain it for you. So we have mentioned several stakeholders that can push this initiative.
Yes.
What can the government do in terms of policies and drastic implementation?
Government will first of all implement even the one that government has approved,
which is
40% of procurement should be made in Nigeria. It's gazetted. It's been approved by the federal government. It should not be drilled down to the state level. It should be enforced, monitored, evaluated, and enforced. If 40% of government procurement is made in Nigeria, it will go a long way in helping the local industries to even survive. Many are dying. If this present 10th National Assembly will buy 100% made in Nigeria, what do you want? Tell Innocent what you want. If you want all of them bulletproof, you do it.
Won't it be overwhelmed? Because we don't, like you keep mentioning vehicles, but we don't have that many players in that sector.
Who told you that?
Oh, I'm just.
Do you know the number of vehicles that the legislature buys?
That's what I'm saying. Won't it overwhelm?
Overwhelm who? Innocent has the capacity to supply all the government vehicles in Nigeria.
I'll soon start charging you for the advertisement.
No, it's not advertisement. You said where? They are there. If you don't call their names, they will say they don't exist. No. If you don't know the address.
Or you'll be mentioning just one.
Yeah, he has the capacity. I'm aware. You have Peugeot. I don't know whether Peugeot does big trucks or they can armor. Proforce does armoring. They produce armored personnel carriers. They produce military. They can even produce drones. That is Proforce. But they are like only Innocent and Proforce do armoring, to my awareness. And we're encouraging all the people to do the same. So don't tell me you don't know where to buy, because somebody told me, where will I buy, where will I get vehicles that can be rugged enough to carry me? I say no.
Rugged enough? Is this person is made of steel?
No, he's just a senator.
Okay.
But these people produce vehicles for the military. Innocent. Proforce. So anything you want, just tell these people. No, there are two I know, confirmed. Government known, they are known. I'm not advertising them because with or without me, they will sell their market. But let Nigerians help in that area. In this area, in this time that you have, people are flying rockets to Mars. Our own little automotive industry, we should promote them. Today, conservatively, we have more than close to 12-13 million vehicles in Nigeria. What percentage of that is made in Nigeria? It's a big industry. Government spends a lot in that regard. I've talked about textile and garment.
You've talked about furnitures?
I've talked about furniture. I'm talking about automotive. You're talking about government, you asked me. And I know that one of the things that carries government big budget, capital expenditure, is the automotive industry, vehicles. So if only 40% of government expenditure, of which when I look at the current budget, either revised, I will be able to tell you how much is available budget-wise for the automotive industry and how many jobs it can create. There's a series we want to start called Just Imagine. Like in textile, we tell people, just imagine where every Nigerian wears a made in Nigeria textile and garment. Only, how many was our population? 220 million. Imagine that 1/3 of us, 70 million, spend 5,000 naira per annum times 70 million. How much is that input into the cotton, textile and garment value chain? Just imagine. Did you know that we will have 70 million times 5,000? That is 350 billion into that industry. But most of them go to foreign countries.
So apart from that 40% you just mentioned that the government can implement, what other, because it seems like it's more of the mind. This is an issue of changing the stereotype about Nigerian made and gaining trust that there is also Nigerian made products with quality. So what else can the government do?
The government will implement, monitor, evaluate even the 40% that is a policy that all ministry, department and agencies at the federal level, first of all, implement, monitor, evaluate, report, enforce of that 40% first line. Then the state governments will be encouraged to do same across board. That is humongous. You can imagine we have 36 states plus FCT and all of them are buying made in Nigeria. Like I want to talk about the government of Anambra State. The governor from day one have been wearing Akwete cloth. These that I'm wearing. And I'm proud to tell you I'm from Akwete. I'm wearing Akwete cloth. It's handmade in my place. It's Nigerian made. You have Ashoke. You have Ashofi from Yoruba land. You have Ankara. You have Adire. You have all manner of things. Most cultures have their woven cloth. Benue, they have Angie. They have all manner of local clothes in every ethnic group.
Right.
So if we patronize those ones like the Anambra State governor is doing, since the day he became governor, he's been wearing Akwete cloth, he's been riding made in Nigeria vehicle, innocent. If all the 36 state governors for FCT are patronizing made in Nigeria, especially the things made in their place, if you go to Benue, they have their own fabrics. If you go to NAIJA State, they have. Adamawa, they have. If they don't know, they should ask me. Ask by NAIJA, I will tell you, okay, sir, no vex. That's your auntie. Now, cloth they weave. For so, I'll tell you the village. So, different cultures, different ethnic groups, they have local. So, if we patronize those people, jobs are created. Then, government makes sure that up to sweet must be made in Nigeria. And his Tom is made in Nigeria. Yes. But like I told you, we went for a meeting, top level meeting, and the sweet served there was made in China. Everybody was scandalized. One woman raised the issue. And everybody was embarrassed. I said, whoever went to buy that suit should be brought to Eagle Square and caned. 48.
From all of us here in KAFTAN TV and Joy Asonye Live, I must say at this point that we do not endorse this level, this kind of punitive measures.
Punitive measure. That was just a lighter note.
I needed to quickly
say. By NAIJA does not endorse it. But I just want to know, I want you to know how painful it is. It is a crime against humanity. Okay, it's a crime against the Nigerian nation for you to ignore made in Nigerian sweet and bring imported sweet. Something as basic as sweet. It's like your mama cook correct soup. Then you want to go and buy some fast food somewhere and say your mama soup no sweet. It is not good. Now Peking will not be Peking go say mama soup no sweet. Let me put it on street language. Let us love our own. Right. Let us buy our own. Love your mama soup. Love made in Nigeria.
Okay.
And let the elites lead the way. If you tell the villager, this is the way to go. This shoe I'm wearing is made in Nigeria. Hey, uncle. Yes, it's made in Nigeria. It's made in Kano. This my cloth is made in Kwande, in Benue. Yeah. This cloth is made in Taraba that you are wearing. Wedding, as I close, our wedding value chain. You know, we have plenty of weddings.
We do.
Good. One of the things by NAIJA wants to also flag off is what Yoruba people call Ashoebi. We want to popularize using, if you are from Benue, use the clothes that are made in Benue for Ashoebi.
That would be another kettle of fish. Apostle, we have run out of time, and I must thank you. Time runs when we are discussing very important issues such as this. Thank you so much for being part of this edition of By NAIJA here on Joy Asonye Live. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is where we draw the curtains, and thank you for being part of the program. I must thank the people behind the cameras who have made sure this happens. We'll be back next week. Do have a restful and wonderful weekend.